Alright, so today's video is going to be just a little bit different. We don't get to see this a lot, but today we're going to take a look here at a clip of Emma Vigeland going on to MSNBC to lay the smack down on this panel of, I'm guessing, Democrats that are pretty not progressive. I don't really know who any of these other individuals on the panel are. I don't really think it matters. But without further ado, here is Emma Vigeland absolutely destroying these absolute bozos.
I wanted to get your thoughts on the Democratic Party here and whether or not what this upcoming Tuesday means for them. Ezra Klein recently wrote for the New York Times that over the past 15 years, the Democratic Party has made room on its left and closed down on its right. For all the talk of what the Democratic Party should learn from Bernie Sanders and Zohran Mamdani, there should be at least as much talk of what they should learn from Manchin or Golden or Marie Perez or Sarah McBride. The party should be seeking more, not less, internal disagreement. Do you agree with that stance?
No. I mean, I don't know what reality Ezra Klein is living in. The fact that the Democratic Party has tacked to its left in what universe? Yeah. The coalescing around Joe Biden in the 2020 primary, the besmirching of Bernie Sanders supporters, the eschewing of that movement in 2016, and even in this current moment with Zohran Mamdani, who has been a shot in the arm for the Democratic Party, you still have Chuck Schumer refusing to endorse him, and Hakeem Jeffries' endorsement is lukewarm at best. There is a fight right now within the Democratic Party, and Ezra Klein is representing a floundering corporatist centrist flank that is increasingly irrelevant in the party, and he's trying to carry water for them in the Times. I mean, I think it's a lucrative thing to do, but it's not necessarily matching the reality.
I love it. I'm so excited to disagree with you. I do, because I could not disagree more. The point Ezra's trying to make is that it takes two wings to fly. That he's trying to
The point that Ezra is trying to make is that it takes two wings to fly. So just for a little bit of context, for those of you who might not know who Ezra Klein is mainly a New York Times columnist, and he has actually been covered by the Majority Report a bunch of different times. He's actually been on the Majority Report. Sam Cedar did an interview with him a couple of months back, and Sam and Ezra actually got into a little bit of a spat, a little bit of a disagreement, because Ezra Klein, at the end of the day, is not the most progressive person he could be. He's not even close. He's there's a lot of things that he has said that's going to get brought up by Emma Vigeland in this panel. One of the most absurd things that I think Ezra Klein has ever said, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, is that we should be running, the Democratic Party should be running pro-life Democrats in red states. Yes, this is really something he said, and the reason he said this is because, and again, this is going to get addressed in the clip, Democratic Party should be a big tent party. They need to run more conservative candidates, and I don't think I need to say out loud why it doesn't make sense to run a Democrat on the conservative platform. That defeats the entire purpose. But without further ado, let's let Mr. It takes two wings to fly finish his take here.
The Democrats need to build a big tent. And he's not saying you got to choose between Zohran Mamdani and Bernie Sanders and the centrist wing. He's saying Democrats need to compete in more places. You raised a stat earlier that I think is the key one. Why, when Donald Trump's numbers are plummeting among independent voters, he's got 48% strong disapproval. How come the Democratic Party's approval rating is lower as a brand
because
than
of the muddled message that I was just trying to elucidate?
So you believe it's because they're not far left enough?
No, I believe that there needs to be a different approach to politics here. Not building a tent and saying we don't necessarily stand for anything, including Ezra advocating for saying that we should run anti-abortion Democrats in red states. So let's throw trans people under the bus. Let's throw women under the bus. Let's just do anything except reorienting
territory, though.
No,
I think he's talking about being practical.
She says, I think he's talking about being practical. It's not being practical. If you're folding on these democratic values, if you're folding on these progressive values, do they want the Democrats to win? Do you want Democrats to win? Because the reason Democrats lose time and time again is because of this corporate bullshit. Because they are not going and doing what people like Zohran Mamdani do, where they are extremely progressive and they hone in on issues that voters are concerned about. Sitting there and saying, we need to run pro-life, I hate that fucking word. That is just the most bullshit term of all time. But running, what I should say is anti-abortion. Anti-abortion Democrats in red states is just asinine. It defeats the entire purpose once again. It's not being practical. It's selling out. That's what that is. That is an example of that.
To expand the map. That's what needs to happen here. Is if Democrats are going, how do you expand the map? Is you win in Ohio and you win in Pennsylvania and you win in West Virginia. As much as Democrats hate Joe Manchin, he was the only Democrat who could win statewide office in Manchin.
I'm sorry, but Joe Manchin helped kill the child tax credit, which is the reason the Democrats are lagging behind in affordability right now.
But would it have been better if there were a Republican in that seat?
If the Democrats want to orient themselves behind a working class coalition and use that as the base, that is how you build a durable coalition, not the one that has lost to Trump multiple times.
But if you look at the track record of like Sunrise.
This is the comment she just made where she said, would it be better if a Republican was in that seat? This is the problem with the vote blue no matter who argument. It's like, would it be better if there was a Republican in that seat? Probably not. That is the lowest bar we could possibly have for the Democratic Party. Would you rather have a Republican there? No, motherfucker. We want people that are going to address issues that voters, that American citizens, that undocumented immigrants, that all of these people face every single day. It has nothing to do with, well, would you rather have a Republican there? That is the lowest bar you can possibly fucking present. Like, that is just so low. Would you rather it be a Republican? Joe Manchin is basically a fucking Republican. God damn. I mean, I don't know if it would make a difference. I really don't know how much of a difference it would make if it was a Republican in Joe Manchin's seat.
Sunrise and Justice Dems and these other, more populist progressive groups.
The base wasn't there. Now the base is there. The base is currently behind it.
They have not gained a single seat.
Because of the institutional pushback from the Democratic Party. And
because
right now
of the
we're
voters.
Seeing,
The
voters are...
And it's the voters. As in the Democratic Party does not present their case enough. They are sitting there. Emma Vigeland has already said it best. She says it's the voters. Yeah, why the fuck do you think the voters are not going out and voting for the Democratic Party like they need to? Because they fucking suck ass. The majority of them, at least.
The voters are part of
their... To Emma's point, I do think that there is, when you're just looking top down from the most powerful figures in the Democratic Party establishment.
Chuck Schumer, mister?
There is a pattern of them being much more accepting of the rightward flank than the left side of the flank. I do think we're seeing that. I think we have some sounds. Hillary Clinton was just asked about Mamdani, who is, by every poll, still in a double-digit lead, very likely to become the mayor.
In New York City.
Hold on. Let's take a listen to the sound that we have of Hillary Clinton, and then I want both of you to respond on the other side.
This is fun.
If you had a vote in this city, would you vote for Zoran Mamdani?
You know what? I don't vote in this city. I'm not involved in it. I have not, been at all even asked to be involved in it, and I have not chosen to be involved in it.
I'm sorry. This clip is not about Hillary Clinton's fucking answer to that. That was not an answer. You just got asked if you would vote for Zoran Mamdani, and she was like, I haven't been asked to be involved. That was not the fucking question, you dumbass. I hate when politicians do shit like that. Answer the fucking question. Stop skirting around the question. You would either vote for the sex pest, Andrew Cuomo, or the Republican. Just come out and say it. Don't be a pussy about it. Come out and say, no, I'm not going to vote for one of the most popular Democratic mayoral candidates that has ever graced this earth.
As a senator from New York, she's in New York all the time for various events. She speaks up on other Democratic issues.
She doesn't live in a lot of states, and she weighs in on a lot of states.
John, do you think that's the right move for Clinton to make?
I think she's telling the truth about what she's punting because she doesn't support Zoran Mamdani's policies. Look,
she didn't say shit about any of it. All she said was, I have not been asked to be involved. Which, thank God you weren't, which I don't think Zoran would ever do that, but you would just taint his campaign. All of these people, well, most of these people on this panel make my head want to fucking explode, man. Oh my God, I cannot take this.
There's been a long struggle over, go back to 1977, I'll just go nerd out, Moynihan versus Bella Abzug. There are deep divisions inside the Democratic Party that get played out. There are good principled fights over policy. Those are legitimate fights and disagreements. And for a lot of folks, a member of the DSA who's never held a job or never had an executive experience.
Assemblyman's a job.
not a job in the private sector. You're right.
I don't care about that, though. He has had a job.
That's the problem.
Right.
It's worth caring about whether someone's ever had a job in the private sector. It's worth caring about whether they've had an executive experience. He's enormously talented. He's very compelling.
Has Andrew Cuomo ever had a job in the private sector? I mean, what? I don't even know what kind of a defense or what kind of a this is not a good. I don't even know what the fuck this guy is saying. Like, none of that made any sense. Again, I cannot take centrist Democrats. I don't even. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on auto notifications so you guys never miss an upload. I have to stop myself before I go on the most insane, off-the-rails rant. But let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you thought of Emma Vigeland absolutely destroying all of these fucking clowns. And the smile on her face says it all. I love that she's just sitting there smirking at them when they're just talking. They're just digging themselves into a hole and then throwing manure on top of themselves every time they open their mouth. I love her. I love Emma Vigeland's ability to go on to programs like this, to go on to Tim Pool's show and just absolutely eviscerate all of this dumb shit. It doesn't matter if she's talking to Democrats or Republicans. Emma Vigeland always comes out on top. So let me know what you thought of that, and I will see you guys in the next one.